Today we're going to continue talking about using different bases, but we're going to move on to adding with different bases. The concept of adding is fairly simple. You get the representation for the top number, you get the representation for the bottom number, and then you see which ones you have to combine and trade in because you have too many in a column. So let's start off with 246 base 7 plus 132 base 7. We've already got 246 base 7 out there. Let's bring out underneath of it 132 base 7. When we add them together, we just move them all together. So therefore, in the units column, we will have 8. It's not possible to have 8 in the units column because as soon as you get 7 or more, you have to trade them in and make them move over here. So let's combine them. Let's take 7 of these. All right, we take 7, traded them in, and move it over to this column. Then do the same thing. Do I have more than 6? Yes, I have to trade it in. So let's. And we can move that one over here. I don't have more than 6 here. So I'm perfectly fine. Therefore, my answer when I add these up is let's put the answer down first for a minute. 411. How could I get that without doing it? Let's back up for a minute. Uncombine these. Now we're back to where we started. We added 6 plus 2 in my units column, and we got 8. Okay? I can't have 8, though. Anytime I get to 7, I have to trade 7 in. So if I had 8, but I traded in 7 of them, I'm left with 1, and I got 1 new block over here. I took these 7, combined them, and moved them over here. So that's how I got my 1. 6 plus 2 is 8. 7 of them traded in and moved. 1 was left in that column. And the one that traded in becomes the number that I carry based on our old-fashioned addition terminology. Right? Same thing over here. If I add 4 plus 3, which is what I had originally, 7, plus the new one that I got, I end up with 8 in this column. However, I have to trade in 7 of them and move it over here. So now, again, I traded in 7 of them, so I only have 1 left, but I got 1 more flat, so I carry my number, and now I have 4 of them. Okay? It doesn't matter what base you're working in, the concept of addition is the same. When you get more than can be in that column, you trade it in for 1 in the next column and carry that number. Right? Let's try it with a different base, just to make life interesting. Let's try it with base 3. We haven't looked at those yet. So let me erase this problem so that it doesn't confuse. We're down here on this one. The problem is 122 base 3 plus 211 base 3. So let's bring out 1 longs and 2 units plus 2 longs, 1 flat, or flat and 1 unit. All right, so now I have 1, 2, 2, base 3, 2, 1, 1, base 3. Now, we haven't talked about base 3, but thinking about what you know about bases, how many is the most that can be in this column? Or how many do you have, at what number do you have to trade in? The most you can have is 2, because once you get 3, you have to trade it in, right? So, let's see what happens. Start moving them together. Okay. So, what do we have? We have 3 of them. Can we trade them in? Let's see. Yes, because once you get to 3, you have to trade them in. And it moves over here. So when I add, I get 3, but I can't have 3 in there, so I really have none left once I've traded those 3 in and moved them to the next column. All right, let's see what happens here. I can combine 3 of them, move it over to the next column. When I added them up, I got 4, 1 plus 2 plus 1, okay? But I had to trade in 3 of them, so I had 1 left, and those 3 I traded in moved over here. Now, I have 4 here. Now, we haven't done this yet. What's going to happen? Can I have 4 there? No. The most I can have is 2. Anytime I have 3 or more, I have to trade. So let's see what happens. And we get a new piece, which we call a long flat. We're not going to go any further than that other than just to introduce. The long flat is 3 sets of that, just like this is 3 sets of this, and just like this is 3 sets of this. So we just keep moving up. So therefore, I can't have 4 here. I have to trade 3 of them in and put it over here. I have 1 left, and then I have 1 in this column. So my answer is 1110 base 3. Okay, one more problem. Let's try a different base, a big one. Base 9. Think about it. What's going to be the largest number you can have in any one column? The other question, what number, when you get to what number, will you have to trade in? Okay. For base 9, the largest number I can have in any one column is 8. Once I hit 9, I have to trade in. So let's lay out 5, 6, 8, base 10, base 9. This could be a little bit, we kind of have to overlap each other. I'll try to make them so you can see how many pieces there are. All right. There are 5 of them. And then I need 6 of these, which will be a little bit easier to do. Oops, that one didn't help me. All right. All right, so we have 6 of those. Then I need 8 of these. Let's see if I have 8. Okay, so I have 5 flats, 6 longs, and 8 units. I have to add 4 longs, 3 flats, and 2 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 flats, 3 units, or 3 longs.
Looks like you have 2 extra single units.
Does it? Okay. Well, okay, here. Okay. Oh, I've got one over there, don't I? Okay. So let's see, I got a couple extras. Let's just bring them down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. There. There's my 2. See, it wasn't that convenient of me to do that. All right. So we have five flats, 6 longs, 8 units, 4 flats, 3 longs, 2 units. The most we can have in any one column is 8 because it's space 9. Once I get 9, I have to trade them in. So let's start off doing our problem. These, oops, let's move these. Cooperate. Move these together, so it'll be easier. All right. When I add them up, I get 10. I can't have 10 in the column. I'll write 10 there. I have to trade in 9 of them, which means that I will have 1 left, and I will have moved 1 to the next column. Let's do it. Take 9 of these. Ooh, I really had some extras. Let's get rid of those extra ones. Right? And so I have 1 left. This one moved over here. Now I have 6 plus 3 plus 9, or 6 plus 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10 there. But I have to trade in 9 of them, which means I'm going to have 1 left there, and I'm going to get 1 more in this column. Hopefully we have the right number there, and this will actually do what it's supposed to do this time. I got some extras there too. I guess I'm doing a really good job of copying. Okay, and this one has to move over here. Right? Now, I had 5 up here, 4 down here makes 9. What more I got is 10. I must like the number 10 today. I have to trade in 9 of them, which means I will have 1 left. And I have to move 1 over to the next column. So my answer, once I do this, should be 1, 1, 1, 1, base 9. Let's combine these. And there's our long flat, which you can't see very well, but if you can kind of imagine that there's 9 of those individual ones all stuck together, and it would belong in its own column over here. It's just for fun to get it out of the way. Let's rotate it. That'll make it a little bit easier to work with. There's our long flat. 9 sets of 9 hooked together. This one up here. So I have 1 long flat, 1 flat, 1 long, and 1 unit. And that's the concept of adding in any base.